Welcome to this look at new mods on Farming Simulator 19 with me, MrSealyp. It's Tuesday the 11th of May. We have some mods that have passed testing and we have some updates. The updates are as follows. Top left, the Almost a Farm map by Kaz64 has had an update. I think it's had some more crop types added, and it does say it requires a new save game. The Goodler Simplex 2530 by Rick Blacklabel TWD modding. The Valtra BH140 by Hemerson Dentino. The Case IH AFS Connect Steiger series by Carl Farms and KMN modding. The Easy Shed set by Top Ace 888. The Cobblestone by ICAS and the Sintrack by ITS, although I've checked the changelog, as far as I can tell that's just a PC update for that, but those are the updates for today. In front of me then, we have got the Pallet with used sacks. This is by Marcelo22 and EmemenS mods. 2.89 megabytes download. There are bags, as you can see, in front. Those are 50 litres. And there are 2 slots each. When they're used, they disappear. Slots come back on. The pallets are 150 litres. They're 3 slots each. Again, they disappear and the slots go back on. We have got oats, wheat, canola, barley, and seed. Now, it doesn't say on the pallets, and that's possibly going to be the drawback for this. If you place a load of them, especially I would say between the 2 greens, the 2 blues, if you got a load of them and then didn't play for a day, or you might come back and not remember. Picking up with pallets, forks will help. You can pick these pallets up using the big bag handler with the CSZ pack, and they get used for those particular things. So if you're feeding horses, if you've got chickens, for the wheat and the barley, there's some canola there too. Seed, if you want to fill up by hand, if you want to do it kind of more realistic, or if you've got some small gear you want to be doing. Do they strap down? The pallets do, kind of. The bags don't. As you can see, you'll find them under your objects. So under objects and big bags, you'll find the bags. So oat big bag, 90. Wheat big bag, 90. They're all 90. Rapeseed oil, yeah, it's canola. Barley and seeds, all 90, 50 litres. Under pallets, we've got the oats pallet, wheat pallet, canola, barley and seed, 460 each for those. Not much else to say really. Moving on. We've got these. If you like to go a bit decorative with what you're doing, we've got the Border Stone set by Top Ace 888, 1.89 megabytes download. These are 2 slots each. There are different sorts. We've got a concrete set. We've got a drainage set with a little drainage channel. We've got, I can't remember what they were, stone, and we've got cobbles. We'll have a look at them in a second, but each set has got the same ones, different meter lengths and corner pieces. Now, it does say in the mod hub for these, they rotate in 5-degree angles, so you can match them up fairly well. They can be placed in 0.1 meter increments, so lining them up isn't too bad either. I would say do your lengths, your straights before you do your corners. That way you've got the right gaps in place, but that's another minor thing. The ground is neither painted nor is the terrain levelled with these. You really want your ground to be flat. Now it does say there has a collision for tyres, but not for front-loading tools. You can't place other objects on top of this. So if you wanted to do this as a board, then put a shed down or something, you can't put them down on top of these. These are sellable, so you know you might put down your shed, then put a board around it, or you might put down something and put these kind of drainage channels around, just to add a bit more to it if you wanted to. Like I say, I've linked a few up here where I've put the corner piece into a straight. What I do like about this is when you do line them up, you can't see the join. There's a corner one there, and then there's a straight, and you can't see the join. As you can there, where the gap is, if I come back along here, so when you do line them up, right? Same with that one. Oh, yeah, got a little bit of a, see that little bit of blur there? There you go, that's where the join is in that one. So, these you'll find under decoration. I think it was decoration. It was. So each set of these, we've got a 2 metre, a 4 metre, an 8 metre, a 16 metre, and the corner piece. Prices will go 10, 20, 40, 80, and then 20 for the corner piece. So the first set are concrete. Then we move on to the water channel, was the word I was looking for. Then we move on to the border stone. And then we move on to the cobblestone. There we go. So again, no, not everyone uses decorative items. I know whenever I do the mod reviews and I talk about decorative stuff and people say they don't want to waste their slots on console on decoration, when a lot of the mods and things they want to use up a lot of slots, and that's entirely up to anyone. You know, you can use them, don't use them, whatever you want. I'm just saying they are here if you want to use them. So that's the Borderstone set by Top Ace 888. Moving on from that, we've got this. This is the Sellpoint for Digestate. This is by Agestar. 3.3 megabytes download. 8 slots on console. It's 12,000 to buy. You'll find it under miscellaneous, where a lot of the Sellpoints generally are. One thing I have noticed, I've placed it down. If I come onto here, it's not showing on here as a Sellpoint. If I go onto the map, it's not showing on here as a Sellpoint either. But I did sell some Digestate at it a little while ago. I grabbed the tanker, bought some Digestate over, and it did take it. So whilst it's not showing on the Sellpoint menu, it's not giving a price. It's not showing on the map, but it is here. It doesn't pay out particularly well. I think I sold 60,000 litres. I think it worked out about 50 per 1,000 litres. But Digestate doesn't tend to. And often, if you've got Digestate as a byproduct from selling at the biogas plant and you don't want to use it as a fertiliser, often there's nowhere to get rid of it on a map. There are a few different Sellpoints that do take it. This is another one to add on to that. I think the lighting is automatic. I haven't found a switch. I am just going to check on the website. Doesn't say whether it's automatic or not. There is a light there, so I'm assuming it will be automatic. So we go. Sellpoint for Digestate, 12 grand to buy. You'll find it under placeables and miscellaneous. That's by Agestar. Next we have got this. This is the Cow Barn. I think it's a Polish one. By TomSky. Barn in the Polish style. It does say it's seasons ready and manure system ready. It is 16.65 megabytes download, 15 slots on console, and 60 grand. You'll find it under placeables and animal pens. Now, this is another one of those ones. It looks very nice, don't get me wrong. It will hold 20 cows. The dialogue box is just here. These doors do open and close. Obviously, these are fixed in place. Your 20 cows that you buy, you won't actually see. Slurry point is here, or manure system. As you can see, it's got the manure system bits there, and your manure point is here, which is lovely. If I open that back up again, which I can come in here, it doesn't really matter. You see the water trough is just along there. So I backed up with the water tanker to about here. The trigger worked fine for the water. I couldn't find triggers for feed or straw. Now, again, this is one of those ones where you've got the marked area in here. There's a trough across the front, which I'm assuming is where the feed goes. So this is another one of those ones where you're either having to do it by hand, use a spoon, I'm not quite sure. Straw, you might be okay if you use small bales. I've said this before on one of the videos, and I said I didn't know how you were going to get straw in there. A few people commented and said if you use the small straw balers that do like the 1,000 litre bales, you can pick those up by hand. So you could get straw in there maybe. But feed is going to be a slightly different proposition. It might have to be done by buckets and that kind of thing. That's not going to be for everyone, I'll be honest. You know, when you've got 20 cows, they are going to require a fair bit of total mixed ration or hay or whatever you're going to be putting in there. Doing that a bucket at a time, it's going to take a while. Unless you can get a conveyor belt in there or something like that. Anyway, the rest of the barn is usable for space, whatever you want to use it for. We've got a bit around the side here too. It's nicely detailed, nicely made. Your milk points around the back here. But like I say, it just might be a bit fiddly for some people. It's worth mentioning. So that's the cow barn by TomSky. Moving on, we've got this. This is the Garage for Machines. This is by FS19. You'll find it under sheds. It is 20 slots, 10.08 megabytes download. It's a big building. If we open up this end, as you can see, it does have lighting. This section is the bigger section of the two. 4 doors along. We do have a light switch over here. If we come through into this section here, the smaller section, we've got 2 doors this side. Drive through if you want it on the end. On this one, it does also have a light switch over here. I do like the detail of the block work and stuff. I think it's very nice. But what we've also got over here is this. Now, when you get it, it's like that. There's nothing in here. So if you'd rather have the space of putting things in for whatever you want to use it for, that's entirely up to you. But if you want to add a bit more to it, if you want to, press circle and it'll put a workbench and stuff in there. But again, you don't have to have it. It's just an addition, should you wish to use it. It's a fairly big building. You'll need quite a large flat space to put it down, but you will find it under placeables and sheds. It's 70 grand. The only reason I'm coming into the menu to look at this time is because I forgot to write down how much it was, and the same with the machine hall next to it. So at 70 grand, slot count will drop down from 20 to 1 for the garage for machines. The next one we're going to look at, we might as well look at it in here first, is the machine hall. So that last one was by Digestate. Next is the machine hall by DieselHirsch. It is 9.95 megabytes download, 38 slots on console, which drops down to 2. It's 30 grand to buy. This is a machine hall with a workshop trigger. And that's what it looks like. Now, when I placed it, I tried to bring it down lower, level it, and it wouldn't let me. And when it placed it, it put a little bit of a mound up to it. Now, that could have just been the stuff around it. It looks like there's a bit of a dip down. Have a bit of a fiddle around with it. Like with anything like this, with landscaping or putting sheds, placeables, anything, save your game first. Place it. If it doesn't work, or it puts a mound, or it doesn't work out quite how you like, come out of your save, then come back in and you can go again. Would be my advice. It's nicely detailed, nice building. There's loads of detail on the inside as well. The workshop is in here. Now, you do have to drive in quite a long way. That's why I bought the massive Ferguson over. You have to come in a fair way before that trigger activates and sees your vehicle. So for larger vehicles, you might struggle to get them in that doorway. So I thought if you can bring them just to the edge here, but it won't recognise it until it gets further in. You can see where the slot count is. There's a lot of detail in here. Very nicely made, very nicely detailed. We have a light switch there. I think that door does open. There we go. We can go through to the other side. Much bigger area here. We have a light switch on this side of the wall. Now, that door opens. And that door opens. As far as I've been able to work out, I can't get the middle one to open. Because obviously, where would it go to? It would block one of the other ones. So the 2 outer doors open. I haven't been able to get that one to. Like I say, because of the post, I don't think it's supposed to, which is fine. We do have some steps up. Again, there's a lot of detail to it. Shed and workshop. So we've got the machine hall by DieselHirsch. Very nice. Which brings us on to the last of the mods for today, which is this one just here. And this is the Lizardlek, L-E-K, 6M roll by UNorby. This had me a bit confused to start off with, but we'll have a look. The 6.06 megabytes download, 8 slots on console. It's under disc arrows. Now it does say 6 meter roll, and when you go into the menu to tools and we go to disc arrows, there you go, the Lek 6M roll, it does down at the bottom say, with this machine you can restore the initial ground state, in brackets, delete fields. 6 meters, slot count comes down from 8 to 1, requires 80 horsepower. That's what it looks like, no options for colour or anything like that. I haven't been able to get it to delete fields. I was concerned that it would. All I've been able to do is get to use it as a 6-metre cultivator. It's cheap as chips, 3,290 for a 6-metre cultivator. It's a very chunky construction. Drop it down, and away we go, cultivating at 6 metres. If I put on the help window, I've got fold cultivator, lift cultivator. There's nothing on there that says anything about deleting fields. And what I'll do, just to make absolutely certain it doesn't act as a roller, I am going to check something in a second though, just in case there's another one. If I drive out across the grass, it's not deleting the field, it's not turning the grass or the ground back to its original state. So under disc arrows, it is just a cultivator. Like I say, fairly cheap for a 6-metre. Let's raise it, fold it, put that away. What I will do though, before we go anywhere, before we finish off for today, let's check in here and go along to miscellaneous, just in case. No. I thought it was worth checking because sometimes under there, because you've got under miscellaneous, you've got the various different meadow rollers which do the same thing. I don't know if it's it's been left in there from another mod, or it's I'd say misprint's not the right word because it's a full sentence, but the only one I could find was under disc arrows. Where are we? Disc arrows, and it works just like a cultivator. That's it for the mods for today. There is a map out again today, the Plantation by ADub Modding, ABP Team NLA Gaming. I think from a quick glance at it, I think it's a forestry tree farm type map. I'll be doing a map tour on that hopefully later on today. So that's it. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.